Hi, this is Paul Sackis, Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Reverend Leland Stewart. Hi, Reverend. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Paul.
Great. Leland is renowned in the world of peace and doing good for humankind, and it's a big honor to have you on the line with us. And thank you for the good you've been doing, especially in the Los Angeles area, and which permeating throughout the world. Let's go right to Peace Sunday, because it's a historic organization, and you've been doing so many things for so many years. Peace Sunday Festival, and it's going to occur again on September 21st, the UN International Day of Peace. The theme: every human being has the right to peace, and this is all good stuff. So give us a little bit of background on your involvement with that.
Well, Peace Sunday originally was done by the Year of Shalom Committee. That we don't want to claim that we did the original one, which was in the Rose Bowl in 1982 with close to 100,000 people. It filled the Rose Bowl, basically. And so that was during the time of nuclear freeze, and so that was one of the most prominent events, if not the most prominent event in that area. So that got it started, and turned out that I knew some of the people. In fact, I went to one of the committee meetings at that time and got acquainted with what was going on. And then we were given the materials after that time. That was a one-time event, and so we've been doing it as a annual event since 1999. So this is our 15th Peace Sunday. It's usually called Peace Sunday, but we added festival this year. And so we're leading, it's a series of 4 that started in 2012, leading up to 2015, which is the 50th anniversary of the Unity University World Council, of which I'm the founder and the central coordinator, and it's the 70th anniversary of the United Nations. So we're getting ready for next year's larger event. How large, I don't know yet, but in any case, we're going to make an extra effort next year to follow through on this series of 4 that we've been doing.
Okay. So I have a question to ask you. Because you're a mechanical engineer at University of Michigan with a degree also in mathematics and a divinity degree from Harvard University, but you mentioned something that I think is worthy of bringing out: nuclear freeze. You said the word. Did I hear that correctly? Nuclear freeze.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What did that mean? Do you remember? Do you know?
Well, I'm somewhat familiar with it. It was a time of great concern and anxiety about what was going on and the possibility of nuclear weapons being used. And the idea of nuclear freeze was to, prevent them from being used. And so that was the time that was highlighted by what happened in the Rose Bowl. And it was also the United Nations was working on disarmament, and that was the event that was the United Nations General Assembly focusing on disarmament. And so what was being done here, in fact, in 1978 was the first UN session and General Assembly session on disarmament, and we did an event in the Hollywood Bowl. At that time, had about 12,000 people in the bowl, and so then 4 years later they had a second one, which was in the Rose Bowl, which we went to. Stephen Fisk and myself and one other person went to that, but that we didn't put that one together, and but it was the same idea of highlighting that concern of making sure we didn't use the nuclear weapons that were becoming available at that time.
Okay. Unity and Diversity World Council. Now, your event, and Stephen Fisk is already on Good News, so everybody can go there and hear our interview with Stephen when he came into the New York area, his birth location, and some of the good music he performs on. And I believe he's one of the producers of the Peace Sunday Festival out there in Los Angeles. This year, tell us about where it's at, where this cultural center, the Iman Cultural Center, and some of the people that are going to be connected to it.
Is an Iranian Muslim group, but it's a cultural facility. It has 2 buildings and a parking lot in between, and it's in West Los Angeles. And we've done our last 3 Peace Sundays there, starting in 2012, and then there was one that was done very quickly last year because one of the Muslim leaders in the area passed away who was active at the Iman Center, and so there was a Peace Sunday related to that and also in general. But then we've started on this one much earlier and have an excellent committee working on it. So it will be there on the 21st of September.
And tell us what will happen there. And I see you have some well-known people going to be involved.
Right. I believe we're going to have Reverend James Lawson, who was the one that taught Martin Luther King about nonviolence, and he also worked with nonviolence during the civil rights movement. And so he's one of our keynoters, and the other one is Marianne Williamson, who is an excellent speaker and a person involved particularly in the Course in Miracles, but she's also involved in political concerns, and she ran for office on the west side here recently, and so she's one that really has a balance between her spiritual life and her work in the world to try to change things, and so it's a good combination for Peace Sunday. And we also have the International Peace Choir and the World Peace Prayer Society, which does the flag ceremony. They also have the peace poles, and comes out of Japan after what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. By the way, yesterday was Hiroshima Day.
And we did a big event till like 1 a.m. last night, all day here in New York, the Universal Peace Day with Suzanne and Barry Gruber and the whole community, and lots of wonderful people. Yarrow came out, and Guy Davis, David Amram, and we had a very major event, out in the public in the Union Square by the Gandhi statue, and we'll be broadcasting that shortly. A lot of people are on the page, and there happens to be a truce now in the Gaza area there, so everybody wants peace and lives peace. You have on your website udcworld.org, the Unity and Diversity Peace Wheel. A peace wheel forms a basis for an interactive educational process whereby many diverse perspectives, projects, and actions get connected, and converge into a common ground of understanding. Where does this peace wheel come from? And you have the UDC declaration.
Comes from our organization. Originally it was a unity and diversity wheel with unity in the middle, but it wasn't particularly going anywhere and being used. And so Stephen Fisk and myself and Linda Groff got together and talked about how it could be more useful and productive, and so we decided to put peace in the middle, and we made a few other rather minor changes, and so it became the peace wheel. And so we had a peace convergence in 2012 as part of Peace Sunday, and out of that came a yearly Culture of Peace series, and that's just been completed, except the sort of the graduation part of it is going to be held at the next Peace Sunday. And so that whole thing is what we mean. And the point is that this is very important because we're redefining peace to mean a collective coming together of all these different areas, including the environment and the inner life and education and many different areas. That we have 4 quadrants, and within those quadrants are 3 sectors individually, so it adds up to 12 sectors and 4 quadrants. And so the point is, these are not all separate, and peace is the focus that seems to do the best to bring them together. And so it's become much more active since we changed it.
Very powerful, a synergistic model for individual and organizational cooperation. Wow, sector descriptions even. Oh, yes. It's magnificent. Really wonderful. I see a donate button here. I urge our audience to support the good things that this wonderful organization is doing and has been doing so long. You know, here it is. I think this quote that you have on the home page here kind of says it all. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has, said Margaret Mead. And Leland is and his community are that group, and that group has grown. It has grown to the degree of sharing these kinds of things, helping young and old. Because your event is a family event, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, more than ever before. I can't believe how this has come together with young people. We've got 5 different things going on that involve youth issues. That's never happened before. So it's with us. And so it's amazing how that has come along. There's a contest or a project in the schools to get them to write essays and poetry and do artwork. And then there's several other different things that are happening in the parking lot in between the 2 buildings with displays and activities for children. And then there's another person with the Brahma Kumaris, Sister Diane, who's going to be doing some living values teaching during the actual Peace Sunday when they're not needed on stage. And so it's just an amazing change.
Tell us about that school outreach. So that's happening prior to the 21st?
Yes. Yeah, it starts right with the beginning of school. We're still in the process of putting the word out there, but the idea is that we'll be contacting a number of schools, both in the Los Angeles Unified School District and elsewhere, to have them write an essay or do a poem or do some artwork through their various classes, and then submit that, and we'll be giving certificates to the ones that did a really good job on that. It's not a contest between, it's simply a project to acknowledge students who have been thinking about what is peace and what could be their role, and so we want to make that available to everybody who's coming.
Aha, that's great. Will that be on the website, or will they be bringing physical letters maybe to the location, or
it is on the website.
Still working that out?
No, it's on the website. It's right under the Save the Date flyer. There's a line that talks about that. So, yeah, it's already there.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I love it. I'm on Peace Sunday. I was going to say to you and Stephen, please give me this gorgeous, most magnificent flyer that you did physically give me last week in L.A., so I can include that. And now all I got to do is click it, and I can get it. Look at this picture of this hand. This is one of the most creative peace symbols I have ever seen, of 2 hands. And, well, hopefully we're going to put that picture on right now as you and I are speaking, but it's on the website. Please join us. It's just, look at that's a brilliant, who thought of that idea? That's a magnificent idea.
That was Sandy Hart. Sandy Hart, you know Sandy Hart?
Very creative person. Get her on, she should be on, I'm sure she has been, on Madison Avenue.
Yeah, she's very active. She's active with Compassionate California and the International Compassion Games, and with a group called SARA, which is a women's group, and then with the United Religions Initiative. She's very, very active. And so anyway, she got that idea together, I gather. Now, down below that flyer are 4 lines in blue. Okay.
Tell us how you keep a team together on such. I mean, tell us about the kinds of people that are been connected to this, Leland. Which is what it's all about, right?
Right. Yeah. This year, Stephen has his family, and he went to New York for a while, as you know. And then Linda Groff, who was very active, she's a professor at Cal State Dominguez Hills, and she goes away 3 times in the summer. So last year we almost didn't have a Peace Sunday, but this year we just decided we were going to do it. And if you get to that flyer, it says sponsoring organizations. There are 19 sponsoring organizations with people. The idea of a sponsor is they're supposed to be on the planning committee for Peace Sunday. And so we have the Amman Cultural Center, we have the International Day of Peace NGO Committee, the United Nations Association, the Peace Alliance, Student Peace Alliance, the Youth Promise Action, Brahma Kumaris, Compassionate California, Compassion Games International, I Am Jerusalem, that's a good one right now, Interfaith Communities United for Justice and Peace, the Wallenberg Institute of Ethics, the Southern California Committee for the Parliament of the World's Religions, SARA, which is Sandy Hart's group, United Religions Initiative, World Interfaith Harmony Film Festival, Culver City Area Interfaith Alliance, Vedanta Society of Southern California, and the Institute of Noetic Sciences, Los Angeles. So that all of those people are represented by somebody on the committee, and we have a conference call every Thursday night. They are just really sharp and well-qualified individuals, and so we're getting a lot done, better than I've ever seen in the past.
I love it. Well, we're here to support you also. You can know that as well, Leland. I'm happy to get this interview with you and support as you come closer to the date, and send us stuff, and we'll broadcast it for you and be one of your media sponsors here, or however you want to include us. We're here for you, period. Youth essay, poem, or art project entry form. Dun, da, 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 da. Okay, so we found it. It's on the website, peacesunday.org. And then there is a video down here, Los Angeles Convention Center. So I want to unbelievably end with this. Leland, you and I will talk again, because we have a lot on the same page together in the world of peace and love for each other, and reverendship, let's call it. And I want to make one mention here, because for us, for me, and our Good News Planet and broadcast and our company, right underneath, actually, the youth essay, it's so apropos, poem or art project entry form, there's a Peace Sunday, The Journey, and then there's a video, right? December 15th, 2002, Los Angeles Convention Center.
But
and for whatever reason...
It starts with the one in the Rose Bowl. So that's
it does?
The whole
okay.
thing about Peace Sunday Accepted. It's not up to date at the end yet, but it will be shortly. But it's a really beautiful video, which Stephen Fisk and a friend of his did. And so I would recommend it for anybody to look at.
I'm going to broadcast it. We're going to make that work. As we broadcasted Stephen's anthem, which was a big honor for us, World Anthem, Peace Anthem, and Love Anthem,
right?
That he wrote, and we will figure out a way to make this a separate story from this interview. But what I will need to say, and I'm honored to say, is when I was at the Los Angeles, I'm a New Yorker, and so I was out, though, in 2002, when I was pretty much close to beginning our business of which we started the Good News in 1998, and but for whatever reason, I come to LA a lot, having worked at Television City out there with CBS in the early days. I was at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Someone said there's a peace event going on. Geez, it might have even been Christine, Mario's wife, Padilla, who I mentioned and who wants to get involved with you guys, but they went away this past weekend. So she might have mentioned it to me, the Los Angeles Convention Center. But when I was there at your event at the Los Angeles Convention Center, I went to one of the speaker engagements, and there was a famous guy, because he's a celebrity and a wonderful, wonderful actor, Ed Begley.
Oh, yeah, right.
And Ed was on one of these panels, and, all I remember them talking about was how part of it, and he was well known for the Prius, right? He helped to get the word out that we don't need the oil, and we could consider a different approach here. But he also, when in his process of talking about being, in essence, the big word out there in certain business things is be disruptive, he said, well, just someone has to kind of make the good news, has to share the positive content. And I'm sort of like kind of a shy guy in front of a lot of people. I have a big mouth right now. But in essence, I raised my hand, I remember, and said, well, I have this broadcast called Good News Broadcast. And he got up and he said, that's what we need. And we need people like you who are, see the need for something important and to strengthen the message of the people doing good in the world, the positive thing, because he's an optimistic guy who sees the glass much more full than not. So, but I need to share this with you, especially because you're a reverend, I'm a reverend. He helped me continue on with this business now. I'm 16 years into this. He's one of the guys that I will attribute to, just hearing that right message at the right time, and to say that your mission, it makes some sense. Right. Money or no money, unfortunately mostly no money, it makes sense for the world. And so I want to thank you, because without your organization's event, that then wouldn't have, I'm just trying to say how the thing spreads, right? How pay it forward pays it forward. And so, look, we're 2014, 12 years later, I'm able to say how much that meant to me. Your event, to a certain degree, probably helped me continue in 2002 in this mission of positive content. So thank you. I want to thank you a lot.
I appreciate you mentioning that. I remember that panel. I wasn't there, but I knew about it, and so that sounds great. It's good to know that 12 years later. So
I'm
anyway,
the proof.
Congratulations.
Leland, thank you. I want to ask you one last question, and thanks for allowing me to share my experience as a happy customer to Peace Sunday. What's good news for you?
Well, one of the things that, similar to what you talked about, we have a ministry training, and it's usually a year or two, depending on the background of the person. But one of the people that went through that training was Kiran Bali, who is from London, and she's a Hindu background. And so she went through the training. She came out here to be ordained, and within a year of the time that she was ordained, she became the chair of the Global Council of the United Religions Initiative, which is centered in San Francisco, but it's worldwide. It's doing a wonderful work. And I just couldn't believe this. Here was somebody we just ordained, and here she gets this wonderful position, which she still holds. And so now she's going to try to get more people in the United Religions Initiatives to study for the ministry through us. So things, there's these things that happen that are supposed to be happening around the world. You never know what's going to come next.
Beautiful. Well, and thank you so much. Real honor to share you and me personally to get a few moments here to speak with you, and having met you personally directly a couple weeks ago. Right. It's all good news, and Peace Sunday will continue on, and and we'll work closely with you for your this year as well as next year, 2015. A lot of good anniversaries happening. Us Reverends like anniversaries, right? So so it's all good stuff, and thank you so much for sharing good news with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Paul. It's good to know you, and keep on with your good work.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Take care.
Same to you, Paul. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.